And we're going to see if it is going to be one heck of a game, because we're going to go over to our casters. DDK and Sadicus, take us away with the game. Please.
This match here between these two teams, they faced us so many times. History in the making once again. Just kicking things off pretty slowly here. Just a slow banana move. And MBK with his characteristic use of those dualies and getting close, just like Flora was saying. Go for the cheap kills. Can he actually find them? He only gets one. And this Storm on the B bomb side looks pretty good here for the Sweets.
I'm surprised they didn't see MBK jump back across. I thought for sure they had. Happy's going to wait it out in the backside over by Construction because Crimson Company are in this site. They will get the bomb. Smith's, though, already in this game. He was a little bit lackluster in this morning's performance against Clowner Logic Gaming, but on the board now, and he's going to have to be on the board the entire time because their tournament potentially rides on this game. As the bomb continues to tick, it's looking more and more like they will get the first round. Fnatic, and yeah, just like that, they mopped them up quite quickly, as I said it. So Fnatic 1-0. Starting on the T side, that's very important to get that pistol round, especially against a team like LDLC.
Oh yeah, and especially on the T side again, like we've seen, like Flora was saying, you know, like these matches like play out really, really slow and Inferno with teams like this. One of the reasons is actually because of just like how abusive the CT side can be with smokes. Like it's so common now that you'll see like 3 smokes on Banana just delaying the Ts constantly until like the last 30 seconds until they can like really do something with their map control. And but right now, this is the kind of like converse. Right now, LDLC don't have any money. They do have a pistol armor buy as a kind of reflexive way to deal with this situation of losing that opening pistol. So here we go. There is one of those smokes from over by Arch side, courtesy of Smiths. That's going to help the B players out a little bit as the movement for Fnatic does slowly make its way up. They're just going to take it so slowly. They just want to make sure that they don't get caught off by these CZs, which they know are lurking around every corner.
I think Olaf knows that Smiths is pushed up inside, or pardon me, Shoxy's pushed up inside Boiler, because look at his sights. He hasn't taken them away from that balcony 1 inch. And he's waiting for him to get just a bit careless, but Shoxy's not going to do that. Meanwhile, Kiyoshima is going to get a little bit of action as they smoke and flash off on his side. And Smiths is going to be the one holding Arch, and get ready because they're all incoming. It's all going to come down to him. He tries to go with that P250 on the first one. He'll pop out with that flash, but they've already got inside Arch, and Happy's completely caught off guard by that as JW makes quick work of him. By the way, JW holding onto a pistol. I think we all know what that means for the ensuing rounds. Want to get that off out as quickly as possible. Flusher, though, meanwhile, drops to Smiths. MBK. Oh, wow, they come back. Those CZs on LDLC are so powerful, and they've got a chance here, but Crims is going to deny them of it as he takes down 2. Shoxy drops, and it's all on Kiyoshima and Smiths with only 3 HP. That said, Pronex on 9.
It is going to be very, very tense here. Kiyoshima going to be waiting for his teammate Smiths to come in to help him out here, as we are going to see the push come in. The bomb just planted. It's no kit, but it shouldn't matter because the action's about to kick off. They're going to bear down on Crimson's position at quad. Kiyoshima sprays him down with a CZ. Now it's on Pronax on that 9 points of health, but Kiyoshima and Smiths on 6 and 3 respectively. The spray down onto Pronax. The defuse coming in at LDLC. Managed to actually, is there time? Wait, there might not be time here. It's been so close.
Think he's got it.
Oh, he doesn't get it. Fnatic take it milliseconds off the defuse.
Those always haunt you. Always haunt you. You watch later in the game. That's the round they're going to need.
He's so gutted. Just that's very rough. There, they had that round.
Oh man, oh man. That's heartbreaking. Look at them.
Yeah, this is you can see that this is affecting them right now. They're still thinking about it. See a look on MBK and Happy there. They're into the next round, and we're seeing a Nova out of MBK. Big pop, a pump. Let's see if it's going to be able to do some damage here, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing that in the close quarters battle stage. It's going to be looking for those close plays again.
If they walk around the corner, he should quick pick up one, but Happy's got to be careful. He doesn't drop down in the meantime as he's only sitting on 12 HP, but does get the shot on JW, and any kill's a good kill in a round like this, but they've spotted up MBK. He's going to get spammed away. That smoke does give him the cover to get away, but not completely unscathed. He does take a bullet for 26 HP as he falls back in toward the CT side. Pronax, meanwhile, is still addressing issues at Banana, deciding whether or not they want to work it back toward a site. Olaf still down in Tarzan right now, and Shoxy's actually stuck up inside Boiler again to watch if they cross back. So they've got good positioning on LDLC's sides, but again, those rifles not in their hands. One man to the good, though.
Yeah, this is actually really nice here. If they did fall back, then LDLC have positions to actually deal with that. But they are going to go for a recommitment here to try to just like get themselves in. And MBK close range with a Nova. That's 2 frags there. 3 frags from MBK. Great work there. And Happy going to finish it all off. Amazing play. And that's what you expect out of MBK. with the Nova, no less. That's a lot of money in the bank as well.
Absolutely. They may miss that first eco opportunity, but they don't fail twice. And up close and personal, that shotgun, so powerful. Shoxy's still looking a little bit dissatisfied right there, as we just saw him on screen, but now we've got a real game on our hands. 2-1 already. Fnatic don't get that 3-round spread on T side, and LDLC have to love that because, as Thorn mentioned so many times, as everyone knows, they're such a good CT team, and on Inferno, that only goes even further. So see how Fnatic adjust to things now as they stuck with the pistols.
Going pretty fast with the pace in this round, though, charging on down with those pistols through apartments, looking for an engagement. And slowing things down now. Try not to give away too many sound cues. But we know what they're up to here. And in fact, they may have actually tried to give away sound cues there because they were running and stepping quite deep into the apps. But now they've kind of just segued back a little bit, leaving Crimson in the apartments there. So should any CTs go to investigate some of those sounds, Crimson's going to be able to actually potentially do some damage here. As they make their way up Banana for the push there. But this round really just looking for a bit of economic damage. A bomb plant really best case, and Crims now eliminated. Can they get that bomb down?
Well, it's going to be tough. Happy hasn't left the site at all. He's still there, and he's going to make quick work of Pronax. Now Flusha as well. MBK actually, pardon me, gets that kill, but he will take down JW. But they get the counter kills as Olaf picks up 2, but he gets immediately taken down. kioShiMa on the rotation, tying the game up at 2 already. LDLC respond early and respond fast. And now we see our first full gun round, believe it or not, 5 rounds in.
Yeah, this is already looking really exciting between these two teams. I was actually a little bit worried. We saw Fnatic taking the pistol relatively easily, and I was like, oh no, you know, like it's gonna be really hard for LDLC to get that economy going, start getting those buy rounds, then maybe they'll, you know, they'll lose the first couple buy rounds and spiral out of control. But no, they're just fighting straight back. Such a scrappy game so far, and that's what we love to see here. But as you said, these rifles for both teams now. This is where stuff gets real. And
I mentioned so many rounds ago that JW was saving for that AWP. Well, so much for that. Things got turned on their head, so he's still on a rifle. No one, in fact, has pulled that out yet. Shoxy falls back on the balcony. kioShiMa's going to work up underneath the atrium and just throw an incendiary toward the top of middle. But look at this, 3 players stacked in boiler, waiting to fly out of the doorway. But kioShiMa's got a good angle for this, actually, so, well, he might not stick around for that, actually.
Yeah, this is actually quite hard for them to get out of that position, but in fact, it's going to be abandoned, and that's going to allow them to actually move out at the perfect timing there. kioShiMa relinquishing his position, and that's leaving Shoxy there in the pit. So just kind of trying to push LDLC's positioning around, but that's a good response there from Happy, taking down Pronax through the smoke. And JW getting quite low, and they haven't really seen many players. That's the bomb down. That's a huge bit of information now. You can see 4 players here for LDLC moving onto this A site for this defense. As they know the bomb is there. Happy actually passing through the smoke. Might just come up behind Flusha. There it is. Actually gets the kill onto Flusha. Happy has no idea that he passed JW. Just still there sitting in the smoke, looking into the wall, and Smith is going to take him down.
Somebody get that guy a compass. Completely lost. As Happy passes by, and they pretty much touched there. I'm pretty sure their shoulders nudged. So LDLC, 3 straight rounds already back in the board, and Fnatic's going to have to come up with something quickly. Of course, this round, they're already forced back into the save. And LDLC need this. If they win this, Fnatic goes 1-1 on the day, LDLC goes 1-1 on the day, and then we've got Liquid and CLG coming up to close out the group stages for today. If Liquid wins that, we could see all 4 teams in that group 1-1 on day 1. That would be pretty interesting.
It would be incredibly remarkable, something that no one would ever have predicted or would have expected, to be honest. And right now, you know, the thing is that LDLC are actually looking like a completely different team. They're looking much more comfortable against Fnatic at the moment. But either way, looks like we're going to get a couple kills coming in with the excellent pistol work there from Fnatic. And even Olafmeister claiming himself on the AK there now. So big chances here from Fnatic with over a minute left to actually really abuse LDLC and find a spot to completely exploit here. And look at this, Happy going to just chuck
that was
away.
A bold move to throw away that gun and try and push that forward through the smoke. He's actually going to re-smoke it as well. Happy showing off some courage.
Yeah, this is really cool because if they do go for the flash in, this is one of the reasons why players play so close to the smoke. If they flash in, it should go behind him and he should be unblind, whereas, well, not blind, and they will themselves be a little bit blind. So it can be risky, but the rewards can be huge. And Happy, he knows in this position, he's going to have to come out huge should he get challenged.
And he's going to flash himself through as well. I'm not sure, he's just laying that behind him in case they are peeking through that smoke, but they don't address it. Meanwhile, though, it's all going on at A because Kiyoshima in the pit's going to pick up the first one. Happy does actually take down JW in the end, but Olaf Meister and Pronax now have control of that A site. As Happy, the only one left, is going to have to very quickly rotate over from the B side. And Olaf's picked up an AK, so there's a rifle on the board now for Fnatic. That's only even more scary as Happy has to find something, and he can't find any angle whatsoever, so he'll bail out immediately. Might stick around just for one exit, but it'll be a 3-3 score after this.
This game is incredibly close. It's like so back and forth in all the right places that they keep both teams under just basically no money. Because now in LDLC they'll be able to field a buy, and Fnatic will be able to suffer a loss and be able to buy again. But both teams will just be constantly within these like just being able to buy once and then ecoing. So, actually losing a man there to the bomb, no less. But we're going to jump into the next round now, and Fnatic looking much better when it comes to the money. JW, I would love to see him trying to go for those entries with the AWP. That's something that Fnatic can actually do with JW. He's actually going to go for the full nades here and not just going to we'll see then the AWP and the CZ. So the full works here for JW. All the bells and whistles. We've got the AWP on Smiths as well. So it's going to be an interesting one here. Smiths goes for the challenge. Though.
They both just missed the first opportunity at that mid pick, and
that does bold stuff there. Like he knows JW has an AWP. JW knows he has an AWP, but still they're willing to actually try to trade with each other. They don't have to do that, but that just tells you how confident these AWPers are.
Well, they also know how important that kill is. Get it early in the round, get the man advantage. I mean, especially if it's the AWP you can take down, especially if it's JW you can take down. JW and Kenny S on this map with an AWP I think are absolutely ridiculous. I think it's, it may not be their best maps overall, but they definitely have the most impact on it. There's no question about that.
The three-man quad setup here is very, very awesome to see sometimes. It does leave weakness, of course, on Arch, but if they do try to like isolate the player on quad, and by smoking off Arch, going for that push, then this is the counter strat for that. And JW's looking for that angle there with the AWP, as his teammates are going to try to wrap around here. So it looks like they've got the perfect setup to deal with this. In they come. Smokes down on Arch. Smiths with a great shot. The Pronax missing the second. And in come a bunch of angry Swedes.
I thought Smiths might have got a double there, but Kiyoshima's not down up on top of the roof. Shoxy's going to collect in on JW, but Olaf at least gets back into one before an immediate response onto Flusha from Shoxy. And Olaf now is the only one left, 1 on 3, 10 HP, does have the bomb. They know exactly where he is, and he's going to try and fake off that smoke and fall back, but they're not fooled. Look at that, 2 ops there.
Yeah, 2 Asimovs
take your pick.
there.
Well, he picked the better one, because that's the one that had the best bullet. Takes down Olaf Meister.
But that's like amazing to see that happen like that, because I don't know if it's a specific read from LDLC onto how Fnatic play certain rounds, because there are some tells that some teams have where you see a certain player in certain positions at certain points of the round where you know that they're very likely to do this kind of a play. And because they essentially had the counter strat, like 3 men on quad there, like we were pointing out. And then we could see how Fnatic just couldn't move through it. They just couldn't. It was the perfect way to approach the defense there. So that's going to be what gives LDLC now the edge here and forces Fnatic onto an eco. And this is where they could start really building that bank.
But that said, they do have 3 rounds on Inferno, and we're only 7 in, so it's a pretty good start for Fnatic. Of course, 2 of those came from the pistol.
And you can see how far back they're playing as well. They know they're up against pistols here. There's no reason for them to play close ranges and really play into the pistol's advantages, which is close ranges. So just playing far back and taking it slow and easy.
Good spam going away from Happy. Does do some good damage onto Flusha, who now falls back. By the way, Flusha this morning didn't really get the normal kill amount that we see. In fact, he's only got 1 in this game as well, so he's got to turn it up in this tournament, because he did bottom frag, even though they took a relatively easy win against Liquid, it should be said. But Smiths is now going to make quick work of Crims. That's the first one on the round, and now they'll push through Arch side. Crims going to have to fall all the way back because he's getting overwhelmed. He's got some support, but wow, Smiths gets 1 more, and Shoxy in on that, and they mop them up again. It's Kiyoshima with the final kill, and the fire burns away on one as well, so 5-3. No surprise they get that one, but they do have a 2-round lead now.
Yeah, Flusha, the lurker for Fnatic, often gets placed on Banana to just open it up and take map control. Some teams require like 2 players to do that job, but then you got teams like Fnatic, where you got players that are so skilled and so good at it, like Flusha, or teams like NIP, where it's Freiburg, who they know the angles so well that you can then allocate more resources to map control elsewhere. And we see that this is very common. And Smith with the flash over the roof there, just for a safe pick on a safe angle with the AWP, and find any presence there. No information for LDLC just yet.
Kiyoshima did take a quick peek into Boiler, but no one was there just yet, although Crims, Onax, and Olaf are all working in that angle now, and JW working up middle. Flasher's going to drop off Banana, so they're pretty much committing onto this A side. That smoke still out at the top of middle, though, won't give them the availability to run through just yet. As it is only Smith speaking to the top of middle, Shoxy's fallen back in toward pit, and Kiyoshima's actually inside the site looking toward apartment, so Smith's is going to have to be on point when they do come through, and if one smoke comes out, that's all it's going to take to shut them down, and then it comes down to a Kiyoshima Shoxy playing the right angles at the right time, because Olaf is inside apartment to catch them out if they get too careless and forget about what goes on in that doorway. Smoke's coming over. Nice set smoke from JW. That lands right in the truck. That entirely covers off pit. That is one of the best smokes, in my opinion, to take that side. But it doesn't matter because Smiths is still alive on the arch side. Only getting one, though, as JW immediately responds. Kiyoshima, though, does go back, and now it's Happy on the rotation, coming out of library, checking his angles. Crims, meanwhile, does get... Oh, wow. JW up close and personal with Happy. Shoxy's still alive in that pit, has it all to do as NBK is slowly arriving from middle, and he's going to try and come immediately around, but they're both inside the site. They're going to go for that plant, and with an op, JW has to hold them both back. He's done a successful job so far, but they still haven't found the kills. They're playing Ring Around the Rosie. Shoxy's on with one. JW. Oh my goodness gracious. He's gotten 3 unbelievable kills, 2 back-to-back at the end of the round. And that's going to do it. They get a 4th one on the board.
He even looks surprised at what he just did. That was insane. How does this guy make these clutches? I swear.
He's magical. He honestly is.
There's so many highlight reels from this guy on LAN, on Inferno, in spots like that. That's a sick clutch there. And that's the difference. To give now Fnatic the chance to then, if they win this, force an eco out of LDLC. Otherwise, they would be ecoing. LDLC will have like huge money, get another free round. It will be completely different game. So JW doing what JW does.
Such a hybrid.
And one thing I really want to see is that the entries from him with the AWP on sites like B, because that's really hard to do. It takes your JWs and your Kenny S's to really pull that one off with the high efficacy. So we'll have to see if they actually go for this, and they are gearing up for a banana play here.
And there's the change of pace. JW over at A last round, now he's over at B. He's so hard to predict, and that's one of the things they try and use him for, is now he's going to look for that entry. They are going to try and put a Molotov bouncing it off the skybox. That'll take care of Cubby. And MBK's not playing in that position. He's over by the garden.
At the very least, they're going to force out a bunch of nades. Still a minute left in this round, so... Oh, they're going to go through the smoke. Relying on those flashbangs being good, and it seems like they actually kind of did the job here. They're getting in position, but Happy gunning them down, ripping them to pieces with the M4 by the blue truck, and Fnatic now have to rely on 3 players, but Happy picks up the AWP, gets the shot onto Crims. The bomb is down, though, as we have Onax and Olafmeister on the site for the defense. Just waiting patiently. Here's Prax. Good position with the Tech 9, does make the frag onto Kiyoshima, but the trade is there, and LDLC cleanup.
That was interesting because MBK, I called it, he was playing on the garden. He tried to play the angle so he could avoid the flashbangs, but they came in so quickly, they went right through CT and got inside construction, and they got a little bit lucky that MBK got caught off guard there. So they do get the bomb down. That gets some economy back in their favor. It's still a 2-round game, very close, and Fnatic with 4 already on T side are doing a fantastic job, but you can't possibly predict these two teams when they go head-to-head. There's such... I don't know, such a good rivalry. They know each other so well, and anything can really happen. All of these players with so much skill. NBK, by the way, is holding on to a Mag 7, so we'll have to see how he plays on B. Happy's pushed up by the sandbags. That might catch them off guard because no one's been there yet. He's going to pop it out. He's got 1, he's got 2, he's got 3. He's looking for the 4th. He mows them down. That AK and a good positional awareness by Happy does all the work, and Kiyoshima just has to take down Olafmeister to give them an easy round. 7-4 now. Good play by Happy.
Yeah, one of the in-game leaders that tends to just frag like a madman on a lot of matches. Someone that you can actually rely on in clutch situations. This guy has a lot of individual skill to show and display. But 7-4, LDLC beginning to run away with things here. This is now Fnatic with another buy round. Can they put an end to this? There's no warp here for either team, so that's going to change the setups quite a lot here. You're going to see Smith's not taking so many peeks there on middle, and Fnatic going to be going for that slow map control play, just trying to get some position, forcing, or rather allowing LDLC to use up some grenades. And this is very important right now because eventually when they are going to hit the push, they want as little as possible grenades to come to help the defense for LDLC. And there you go, Shoxy opening it up there on apartments.
And smartly falls back because there's two on the stairs that were very eager to get that trade. And he prevents the option of them doing so. And resumes the advantage. Just while I've got a second, while we talk about it, the frag distribution for pretty much everyone is close, although Flush is still only on 1. Happy's got 17 already. The guy is on fire, by far and large outplaying everyone else right now, and it's definitely showing, especially in that last round. Shoxy and Pit, meanwhile, does have Olaf to contend with up in apartments. They're going to smoke it off right on top of the statue that time. Kiyoshima does still have an angle, but look at that. 2 more come out. They are completely hopeless, and they should run around, although that fire up on the stairs does prevent Olaf from coming in and getting the shots above the smoke, so at least they bought themselves a little bit of time. But an easy bomb plant undercover.
There you go, so 4 mans set up here on the site, and that's some good tap work there from Shox as they are working on these frags. But there is the first defuse there. It needs to be a player to peek this, as he's just going for the hold, I think. Smith is just, he's still defusing, he gets the defuse, and that's excellent work there from LDLC, and it was a nice effort as far as the play goes there. I mean, of course, we had a 4-man setup forever on A. And the thing about that, though, is it can kind of work out because they got the plant that's safe for quad.
But they never got site control.
Yeah, well, then that's kind of the point of that plant, that you fall back on top. But at the same time, they got locked out by all the counter grenades of LDLC, and it just Shox with amazing tap work, just allowing them to just position themselves correctly. But yeah, it's a really risky move to go for plants like that.
And the economy's broken on Fnatic's side, so closing out on the half. LDLC is looking really good. MBK is going to get aggressive on Banana, catches out JW, and he's got 2 more coming his direction, but Flusha, there it is, he's on the board now with the Deagle, takes down NBK. Happy drops as well, so B is open for business. But the rotations are coming around. Smiths will be the first one there. Take a look, though, because the bomb's not. It's still in Olaf's hands, and he's over toward A, so if they sell this fake, he could quickly walk in and get an easy plant.
Yeah, so many ways to play this one out now. This is the kind of a round where Pronax really shows quite how good he is at making the mid-round calls here. So there's 3 players here for LDLC. Again, they're in a spot where they're looking for information. They've got to be proactive here. They've got to figure out what's happening so they can set up properly. Otherwise, it's going to be essentially potentially a 4-on-1, and that's going to lose them a bomb site very quickly. And so Shox kind of just trying to assess the situation here on second mid. Picks up a kill. That's Pronax down. And this play from Shox here allows Kiyoshima to be in CT spawn and be a bit closer to B than A. As we can see him floating back towards. He's not so sure where they're going just yet, but he goes to flash. It's going to actually act. Oh, he doesn't get the frag. Flushes down to 4, but Kiyoshima's going to pick up the pieces there. As he will get faced by 2 additional players. And the crossfire coming in now. Smith and Shox left alive. Smith doesn't have to take this fight. He's got his teammate en route from Banana. As Crims tries to go for this interception. Just straight in the face of Smith. Misses the shot, pulls out the AK, and Smith gets the kill. That's a 9-4 scoreline. LDLC starting to run away with this CT half.
This might be the first game I've ever seen in person that I've casted with Fnatic that Crims doesn't have his toque on. Maybe he should put it on again.
Well, right now, I mean...
some magic in that hat, just like Frosty.
Absolutely. Then they need some magic right now. They need something. So far, LDLC are blowing up their plays. The defenses look immaculate. And we're not seeing JW really on the AWP either. And Smiths is seldom AWPing either as well. I mean, the money has been so tight for both teams.
It's also working well for LDLC, so in the last couple of rounds, there's no need to get him back on that. If JW goes back to it, I imagine he will to take that fight. But look at, they come up mid right now. Smiths is in good position. Smiths gets 1, make it 2. He's got to switch over. What a shot as he pops out with Tech 9. That's Flush's head just absolutely obliterated. And it's all on Olafmeister. 1-on-5, not going to happen. And Kiyoshima's just going to push through that fire and take him down. Another excellent round from LDLC.
I love the positioning there from Smith. That angle's actually really deep and very unsafe, but just the fact that he has his teammate there makes it basically just so explosive like that. If it goes well, it goes really well. So they have so many rounds, they can start taking risks and gambles like that. Play a bit more aggressively. Fnatic completely crushed there. So many rounds lost in a row, though. Can still keep up these buys, and here it is. Fnatic's last round here on the first half. Can they pull off this 10-5? Here we go. We have a deep Banana smoke here as LDLC stretch themselves a little bit. Try to get some more control Banana, try to deny that map control a little bit for Fnatic, keep the pressure on. Going to relinquish that actually and allow Flusher to retake Banana pretty much for free. And Smith is considering tossing over a nade there for his teammates on B. That will actually allow a rotation there from Happy.
think everyone knows what I just ordered for dinner by accident. Didn't click the mute button. Last round of the first half. Fnatic desperately need this one. They need to get back into it using those 5 AKs. Olaf again trying to work the apartment angle. He hasn't had a whole lot of success in this game, really. Even on that play where they smoked off A site and got that quick plant, he was prevented from peeking out and taking down the player in pit.
They're going in right now, though. Busting through middle. Smith's in a committed position here. Could easily get caught off, but actually backing off a little bit now. As we're going to see LDLC have responded to this. They had 4 men. They quickly worked it out. Josh, we're going to take down Crims, and they know. I think they know by killing Crimsa, they know what's going on. But Olaf Meister's there as well. They never counted on that. He's going to pick up a frag there, and that's going to slow down Shoxy, who's still in the pit. But meanwhile, the site push is happening over at B. And LDLC looking for the defense. Smith's coming out huge with that frag onto Flusher. Going to stop it dead right now, and the bomb has to be rediverted to this A site. And Shox with the lockdown there by the pit. Here comes Pronax for the shot, and Shox once again going to take it down and clean out the site, and there you go. 11-4, huge half there from LDLC.
This is exactly what LDLC needed. I mean, if they want to pursue an opportunity to try and get forward in this tournament, they have to win this game, and they've done all the work so far to allow that to happen. And we talked briefly about this. If the draw had been a little different and Fnatic came tomorrow, well, it might have been a little bit easier to get the 1-1, but they're faced with a tough opponent a little bit earlier, and that means they're faced with an exit potentially earlier, but they're rising to the occasion. 4 rounds on the board. Fnatic now take their turn defending on Inferno. We'll see if JW can get the op online in this half, because again, he only really had that one. It was a great round that he had with it when he got that kill at Library and then that huge 2K to close out the round, but that was the only one he really came online with it. In fact, I think he only finished with, if I just press tab quickly, he only finished with 5 frags on the half. Flusher only on 2. They really have to step it up.
Yeah, I mean, Flusher, because he's like lurking so much, it's very dependent on what his team's actually able to accomplish on the main pushes, and we can see largely that they weren't able to get into a lot of these spots where he's able to freely lurk, pick up the outside frags, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Flusher definitely not in the action as much as normally he would be. But the thing is, conversely, it's great to see that Smith is actually playing much better than he was earlier on, because the Dust 2, CLG played amazing. Like Peter played amazingly on that Dust 2 against LDLC, but also Smith was the weak point there for LDLC. We could see like a lot of crucial spots where he wasn't performing, and it really hurt his team. But in this match here against Fnatic, he's looking like revitalized, and we're seeing an LDLC that looked very tight. Inferno is just such a good map for them, and Fnatic, they can absolutely reverse this as well as long as they get this pistol. They absolutely have every chance to reverse this.
Just checking to see who we're waiting on. Actually, it's going to be no one. They are all readied up, so we'll get it underway. Fnatic needing the pistol. LDLC hoping desperately that they can get it and keep their tournament chances alive. By the way, if they come out with this and CLG take down Liquid in the next game, they move through first in the group, which no one... And I mean, the whole tournament right now is not at all what was predicted. And it's awesome to see. I mean, I love the unpredictability of it. I love seeing these games. The best-of-1 format seems to be providing quite the curveballs, and it's awesome.
We're in here with the pistol now, and I want to see that Fnatic push on middle, but looks like actually we're going to see on B here. So before they went down middle, got loads of map control, but now it's just Pronax spotting on middle. We've got some aggressive play here from just one player, just Olaf Meister, and they might try to sell that the B site's weak here. They might commit him to just try to get as many frags and then die, and then make them think that there's an opening when there really isn't. And there it is, JW now hiding behind the sandbags with 2 more players on the B site. Are LDLC going to fall for the bait? Looks like they're going to fall back a little bit here, back into middle. Just taking it very slow and easy. So Fnatic's idea there, very strong. But here is the way that they can save this. Just go for the straight up push into middle. Kyoshima with the defense there. JW going down. Flusher now steps up to the plate. Receives a nasty shot to the head there.
They'll smoke them off there as well because they don't want to deal with them. Let's just move forward and try and get toward that A site. Keep in mind when Fnatic, it was on Inferno earlier when they took down Liquid 16-3. They were very aggressive on the CT side. They pinched Liquid a number of times inside Banana. They tried it again there coming down as JW got caught out, but Crims now will take down Smiths. And now puts us 3-on-3. HP advantage still the way of LDLC, but it's not going to matter. Flusha immediately takes down Shoxy as they try and wrap through CT. And now it's only Happy and Kiyoshima remaining, and Happy is going to pursue onto Flusha. Does do the good of it. So now it is a 2-on-2 post-plant situation, and Happy again, great accuracy, catches out Crims, who now sits with only 9 points of health and has to try and make magic, and Pronax closes out on Kiyoshima, so Happy is going to have to find that lucky shot. And actually, Crims is going to try and stick this. There's no way he's getting off it, and I don't think Happy's going to try and peek it. So this is a quick defuse. Well played by Fnatic. They get the round. And that's going to give them a lifeline to push this back into somewhat of a momentum comeback. It's 11-5. We're looking potentially at 11-7.
That's what we were talking about with Crims just not dying there. I mean, Crims had many spots where he could die there, but just constantly staying alive, keeping the presence alive. You can see the difference that makes when Pronax comes in there. And just like being able to get the quick defuse there with the kit. Really, really nice save there by Fnatic. That is a huge sigh of relief for all the Fnatic fans, for the Fnatic team. I mean, now, of course, because of that, LDLC doing what LDLC does, and they're going to force it up right now because they got the bomb down and they got so many frags on some of these players. So they are still really dangerous. And Fnatic, if they know LDLC, they should actually be expecting this. They should actually be expecting this. Something that should be surprising for an average team, but this is LDLC's bread and butter right now. So very dangerous they are. These pistol armor, nades, got Galil on Kiyoshima.
Still an even spread on the map, though. Fnatic hasn't really opened any opportunities, and nor have they carelessly given anything away, although Kiyoshima did get hit down to 40, but it's not that significant. We'll see how they can come back into it. He, although, does have the Galil. I'm surprised he hasn't passed it off to try and just keep it more sustainable in the round. They try and look for passage into mid. They got up there. They actually didn't get that contested, but they're going to fall off it. I thought they might take the opportunity to push it on to JW.
Moving as a unit here, I really like that from LDLC. They can just put up the trade frags whenever they want, making sure that should someone get taken down, they can actually turn it into some position or an advantage of some kind. But look at this, Crims. The man, the legend with the P90 in his hands. And in they go, Olofmeister and Crims with the crossfire. But MBK to take down Crims immediately now as Olof is over by quad boxes, pushed to an awkward defense there, runs out of bullets. Did take down 2 for his troubles, and that's all he needed to do now. 3-on-3 for this retake.
Cubby plant too, that's interesting. So they're going to have to hold it in the sight. Oh, what a shot. Happy pops out. That's Flusha down. He'll push out now toward Banana to make sure they're not going to be flanked, and they won't be because they're both coming around. JW from Construction will get onto Kiyoshima, but Happy responds immediately, and NBK pops out and takes down JW. So well played, and LDLC again, an eco round. They're so good with don't buy guns.
Yeah, no, this is exactly like why they do this. Like, they have such a good ability to just make these mid-round calls and just like move up the map together as a unit with these weapons. And we know that Fnatic's like by that round is they have still on some SMGs. We saw the P90s, we see FAMASs, the CZs, and the Glil that they have actually performs like incredibly well against that, and the Tech 9s and the nades. So it's actually like really a legitimate way to just break an economy of the CTs. And if they never get their economy rolling, again, no AWPs, no nades, and those are the 2 incredibly important things for the CT's defense. So just pistols here, just a full save from Fnatic, and that's going to put them very, like within a very, very close point of just losing the match here against LDLC.
LDLC spamming away right there, both Kiyoshima and MBK. They try and catch out Olofmeister, who somehow, I don't know how, survives and falls back into the safety of the B site. With only 23 HP to work with, they're now going to smoke it off on CT, but Pronax has already rotated around. They weren't quite quick enough to follow and pursue onto Olaf, and smartly so, they don't do it late. They just fall back and try and find positioning. JW's actually the only one over at A, so if they go back quickly, Shoxy does have the bomb over there. Happy's there as well, and actually JW's falling off toward Arch as well. No, turns back. He realizes there hasn't been a call made, but they will get him now, and that's open for business as NBK, the one who was trying to sell it and keep the others over at B, although loses his life, does so successfully. So 4-3 post plant for LDLC right now.
Yeah, that was a really nice execution there of a fake, and MBK's sacrifice was worthy. Definitely did the job they needed it to do, just delay those guys. And now, LDLC on that 13-5, are Fnatic going to be able to pull this back? One like really key factor right now is, honestly, I think it's getting JW on the AWP. But the thing about that is that LDLC are going to, like, they know his tricks. The thing is that even if you know like how JW plays, the whole point is that because he can kind of be anywhere, you still can get caught off by it. So it can never be foolproof that you can just counter it. But I really feel like JW's got to get on a roll now with the AWP, and if he's not able to like shut down these plays early, able to get these early round frags with that AWP and these surprising plays, and it's going to be really hard for them.
And no save for Pronax there either. He got caught out at the end of the round. They will force out on FAMASs. They don't want to get this too far away, so
they'll have smokes at least. That's really important.
Well, they're going to have to use them wisely, as Fnatic is doing everything they can. to fight back into this. I don't think I expected this game to be quite this scoreline, and like I say, we could potentially see 1-1 all the way across the group. Krems is stuck now. He's committed to being inside Banana. That fire is going to hold him in place. That smoke, though, will prevent them from coming immediately through on top of him, so he's got some time to work with.
Look at this, though. Boosted up on top of quad there, so that's going to be quite a surprise for Shox if he doesn't check that position. That'd be there. They can just leave him there in that position as well. So you can see, got a player over by Arch, and in comes the push now onto this this B-bomb site, just gunning through Krims on Olofmeister, cutting through them like a hot knife through butter there with those rifles. And it's very awkward. It's awkward here for Fnatic because they can't go for this. They need to keep these weapons alive, considering the situation and the money for them. But the thing is, right now, is that LDLC are going to go hunting, and they could very well just kill all of them here.
And Flusha backed out. He's only, I mean, there's only one player for all of Fnatic right now that's into double digits, and that's Olofmeister. As JW gets one more for his tally, but Flusha again on 4. I mean, you've got to have your big players step up in big games, and there's none bigger than this. This might be group play, but now it's looking like it actually might determine who moves forward and who doesn't, because we could be in a tie between these two teams as Flusha makes quick work of both Smiths and Kiyoshima, and that's going to do it for the round. Watch out, though. Is that bomb? Nope, they get away. 2 HP for Happy. 4 for NBK, so they will hold on to those guns. Watch it, he's still peeking middle line. Doesn't even take the shot. Not going to bother. Why bother?
I think he took his hand off the mouse or something there. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is about like these teams going through, just the result that we saw from CLG and also Kaboom just made this tournament has become incredibly exciting. I really had no idea. Just what we were going to see here. I knew that CLG had a lot of potential, but anyway, moving back into this round here, we've got 14-5. LDLC are so close to just bringing this through to the W here. And they're going for a 3-man push down Banana, the deep smoke as well. Getting very aggressive now, changing up the pace.
The other thing to mention about this is it comes down to a round-based tiebreaker. Fnatic, they do have 2 more than what Liquid got against them earlier today, but even if they don't win this game, the more rounds they can get, the better their chances if we do see that situation occur. As NBK's boosted up, he's trying to spot it out over top of that smoke, but Krims has already pushed forward and gone into the corner for some cover. And so we remain 5-on-5.
It's the gamble now. They actually send one guy all the way back from B just to A now, so a 4-man setup there. This is something that you can kind of predict. As a tease, you can kind of be like, okay, well, that's probably what they're going to do, and we can just flash through the smoke, kill that one guy, plant on B, but you can't be sure, so it really depends on how LDLC want to read this situation. You can see that now they're going back towards B now. The smoke has gone away. This is really dangerous here. Really dangerous here for Fnatic. So all they have on B is Krims. He's got a FAMAS and 69 health. I know he's Krims, but that is still a tall order here.
This would only give them, as Happy takes down Pronex, 4 rounds lost, so they wouldn't have maximized the money bonus either, and they would be forced with very little money left on match point, as now they execute it in toward that A site, but Shoxy is going to take down Fnatic, so, or pardon me, JW, so that's going to make it even more one-sided here. They do drop one more down, but they do have the bomb as well to work with, so it's a 2-on-3 on the board, but a lot of times you can count that bomb as the 3rd man because all he has to do is sit there and tick away, and they have to come to you.
Good positions here. Happy. His cover fire was a little bit slow to kill Flusha there. That's a 1-on-2. It's just back against the wall. Nowhere to go. Double peek. Well done there by Fnatic. And we're going to see Fnatic staying in just a moment longer here as LDLC are just teetering so close to that match point. And Fnatic, I think are going to have cash now to bring JW to an AWP. Not quite still.
But at least they've got money to work with. Like I said, if they lost that, it was pretty much all over. So one more round on the board. LDLC looking very comfortable, though. There's no doubt about that.
Well, they can. The thing is that they can just play insanely risky because they have such a huge buffer of rounds, and if they get rewarded for it by losing rounds. You get a money bonus, so they get rewarded, and eventually they can just buy every single round. So Fnatic are in an insanely difficult position here. They literally cannot put a single foot wrong in this at this point, and we know that their style is. I mean, it depends if JW is going to pull out the orb and is going to play like he normally does, but that's what makes him so strong sometimes. So I would expect that that's going to happen. So it's going to be really exciting if Fnatic are able to take the next couple rounds and get that money together. So we're going to see that style of play out from them. But right now, it's just the simple map control plays for LDLC, just taking Banana, taking apartments, forcing out those smokes, so that when the time comes, Fnatic can't hold them back anymore.
I'll take the bomb up toward top middle. Kiyoshima again holding on to that. JW, though, is in good position, as is Pronax in the pit. They've actually got a full crossfire set there. As Flusha's on the other side, but Flusha's got to hit the shots. It's got to be now or never. They will come through momentarily here, or will they actually? Smiths looks to lurk back and just see if they've got anything going on over at B. That smoke has gone away at the top of it, so they do have an opportunity to peek inside and just see if anyone's home. Yoshima's actually going to join them with the bomb, so they are going to fake this toward A. Olaf spotted. He's gone. He's heading back in that direction, but he's not gone so far that he can't get back quickly, and he's already turned as NBK and co come inside the B site. They do take down Crims, as he only got one. Crims sometimes so good in that position, but not efficient this time, and that might be enough to allow them to get the plant. They still haven't done so, though. He'll go down now, and it's all on the retake right now for Fnatic. 3-on-3. Flush on 7 HP, though.
They got construction, so that's actually a pretty big deal. That's going to speed their approach onto the bomb site. MBK going to peek out from Paul, takes down Pronax. So 2-on-2 with Flusha, incredibly weak. Flusha, 7 health there. MBK looking between two spots here. This is the perfect setup between Olafmeister and Flusha. In comes Happy now from the peak.
He's on it.
The defuse. Is he going to hold? Happy going for it. Going for it. Oh! What? Oh! What happened? What happened there? I have no idea.
Did he just run out of ammo at the worst possible moment?
Look at the grin on front. Look at him. It's hilarious from
just sit there and wave at each other. Oh my goodness gracious! I've never seen anything like that.
And you can see MBK just he just has no idea what just happened there. Did he think that he killed him, or I don't know. I mean,
I wasn't actually on him, but the only reasonable explanation is that he ran out of ammo. In which case, he should have reloaded beforehand, obviously.
But no,
that's the only possible thing that would think.
All right. We have to come back to this.
Are they
later.
trolling? Like, I'm so confused.
But once again, we got Fnatic playing it pretty standard here. The smoke's in front of the cars here, so bring it back to that standard setup and winning that round. They had such heavy losses that still they don't have like a great buy going for them. They still have a FAMS on Crims. They didn't have full names, I believe, and still no AWP. So they're still working constantly within the limits of their money, and there's never any comfort there. Never. So Fnatic playing from such a hard position all the time in LDLC, despite having such a gutting round, which this surely should be a bit of a hit to the morale, at least for MBK.
Yeah.
I mean, but they still have such a good position that it should be incredibly difficult for them to throw this game away at this point. So we'll have to see if they're going to bring this back here. They do have, again, map control. Banana got a guy deep, Happy deep on apps, actually. So they could be really good here for a play into quad.
They'll smoke that off into Arch, well executed. That goes deep enough to cover off CT, and they'll fake it over to A on the back of that because they also smoked off on the truck and on the Atrium. Shoxy and Happy are going to be the ones to try and sell it. Olaf's again already started to rotate out, but Crims has already got one. As I mentioned, he's so efficient, and now he works back into construction. He's looking for another, gets that as well. So Crims doing what he does best over at B as Kiyoshima drops to him now. Happy trying to come in and make up for lost time in the last round, but Olaf will cover in with 2 more. So well held for Crims.
There you go. Oh hi, Crims. He's actually turned up. That's great. But that's exactly what we want to see.
I saw him adjust his monitor height that round. So that didn't make the difference.
Okay, I see. Well, I mean, like, the thing is, right, is that so far on some of these B pushes, the reason why they're going so close, like you said, we've seen Crims on like first oranges. Usually he gets like the extra frag, but that's not been happening, and that's like that extra frag is by far the difference here. And this is the smoke we're talking about. How you can have 3 smokes onto Banana, even 4 at times, and it makes it really, really difficult for the teams to actually ever make a play there. So LDLC now. Looking for a fast round with these pistols. No armor at all. As you can see, lots of damage by that grenade there. Spot on. 26 health for Shocks. Can they actually find a frag here? This is a nice setup. You can see that LDLC, Fnatic are well equipped to deal with this pistol buy.
Well equipped indeed. MDK is still trying to make something happen over at B. Again, just get a kill, get a rotation, get whatever you can. The bomb's down in middle. They've actually started to push up toward middle. And they've actually got around onto the Atrium. Flush has fallen back. Pronax and JW are playing that, as we saw, that pit and balcony position. So they might have a little bit more room to work with on the T side. But again, it is only pistols. They're going to have to be magic and overwhelm them. Flusha's forced back. Flusha tries to flash. JW gets one on Shoxy, but there it is. Kiyoshima takes down Olaf as Smiths gets Flusha. Man, Flusha's got to get on top of things here at X Games. As Pronax, though, does do work onto NBK, and it's all down to Smiths, and he drops as well. Pronax in the pit. Stays alive and makes good work. 14-9, a little bit closer than it was. And man, I wonder if that round could haunt them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, that was just remarkable. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's already people that have captured that in GIF just to like work out what exactly happened there. I honestly, I don't know at all. I can't even guess what could possibly have gone wrong there for MBK. But either way, Smith with the AWP, JW with the AWP. We haven't seen this yet. JW looking for that mid peek here. Bit of an aggressive angle as well. You can even see towards the haystack here. So, just saw just a little pixel of an elbow there. So JW is going to get challenged up close, but this is where he does his best work. He's going to pick up one kill into Shocks. They're going to try to keep the tempo high here, but JW escapes unscathed from that engagement.
And one of the things to make note of always is that a 4-on-4 situation is actually an advantage for the terrorists, because you've got to split your defense now, and it's just that little bit more map control that the terrorists can take, and they've actually executed it well. They've got one up at least toward the top of middle. Happy's still lurking inside of apartments, and that's forced Olaf to rotate off of B. And Smiths is actually going to get JW as well, so this is looking really good right now for LDLC, although they're not done with Olaf. Never mind, Kiyoshima says he is.
Yeah, they have the second surprise player. They're peeking from Archer. Only got one frag there, so looks like LDLC could be good in this round. It all depends on Pronax here. As we see the bomb slowly making its way towards the A site here, just clearing all the angles. Pronax, so much work to be done. Gets even smoked there. And he might have a player looking at his position. Not yet, and Pronax gets the frag on the bomber. He can fall back now. He does have reinforcements in the name of Crims coming very quickly to offer some aid here, as Pronax does get taken out just before Crims gets there. 1-on-2, Crims. Can he pull this one off? Such an important round here for Fnatic, as Crims now is smoked off from all the angles, and they know exactly where he is.
Oh, that was so close to NBK's head right there. That. Oh.
Crims, can he come out huge here? There's the first kill. Crims looking for the second, won't get it. MBK redemption, as he does take the 1-on-1 against Crims. And there you go. Match point, finally. It's been a long road for them to actually get to match point. But they've done it. They've broken that barrier.
And they've also broken the economy, because they were getting good kills even in the rounds that they lost. So look at the force. They've got a Mag 7 out for Olaf, Pronax on just a Deagle, and then two FAMASas to match up with JW, ZWP. And
is he going apartments? Is he going to do it? All right, no, okay, maybe not. All right, but still the peak going to come out. Oh, just whiffs the shot there. And JW, the only man with really a good gun here, absolutely has to bring out a result in this round for Fnatic to hold on.
Look at this. Are you kidding? How does he not see his shoulder? Shoxy walks all the way up, and oh, he doesn't actually manage to get Pronax up close with that Deagle, but Happy will, as he comes out, and he also gets Flusha, so this is looking like it could be it. We could see a 1-and-1 draw for both of these teams on day one, and that would mean potentially coming up, CLG would be the first team with an opportunity to advance in the entire tournament. Who would have thought it? Who would have thunk it? As Kiyoshima now on Olaf Meister, and that's going to do it. Crims drops as well. GG, a game well played by LDLC. No question about it, especially on Inferno. Thorn mentioned it. They said, we're the best Inferno team in the world. Thorn said, sorry, mates, you're not. It's Fnatic. Well,
they like to
you know
think
what?
it, right?
They just took down the world #1 on their #1 map, so it's still all to play for in the power rankings. But one of these two teams may not advance from the group play. That's unbelievable.